What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you all having a good new year. Today's video is going to be a longer type of video because we're going to be discussing a new game mode that I think could be really fun for this game going forward. More or less for advanced pay to play type of people. I know people probably not going to like that, but just bear with me though. Let's talk about the state of Mkmobile right now. I have a podcast with a couple of friends from the Charlotte Monk Temple, and we just talk about the state of the game, and we pretty much all agree it's like on a six and a half type of satisfaction rate, and something we all agree with, it's just kind of boring, right? So if you are an advanced player, it's kind of boring getting sellbacks, getting the same thing over and over and over again. So in this game mode that I have come up with is called the Gauntlet. It is sort of a survival game mode, but it's not really survival. But let me talk about it a little bit. I was talking to Daly about this in the Discord, and he said maybe I should tell you guys about the rewards, why you should be playing. I know right now it's not an official game mode, so right now you're just playing for prestige. Eventually, I would like to see this game mode introduce a new reward system where you are able to craft your own weapons, your own epic pieces of gear. I feel like that would be really cool. For a long time, we've been told or just shown how to play this game. Only been given like a lot of developer ideas. Like we haven't ever been able to implement like our own ideas into the game as a community. But going forward, I feel like this could help change. So what I mean by this is each week we are able to grind a different we're gonna grind the Gauntlet game mode, right? So the Gauntlet game mode is going to be how we get the rewards for this build a gear system. And each week there's going to be a new passive. Each week there'll be like a new ability for the piece of gear. And the last week, which is going to be week 5, I think, or week 4, we would unlock a passive for the gear. So not only just abilities, but a passive for a piece of gear. And so what I mean by that, so we'll break it down like this. In week 1, there's going to be a 40% chance unblockable for all attacks, right? Something simple, nothing too crazy, but at the same time, we want to be able to use these gears in towers, so we don't want to make them like overpowered. So 40% unblockable attack on all attacks is it isn't anything too crazy, I don't think. Week 2 would apply a different ability. So there would be a 40% chance to apply like stun or cripple on tag in for 5 seconds. And while that opponent is stunned or crippled, you gain vampirism. I feel like that'd be something really cool. It's kind of meshing a different couple characters together. I think it's Black Dragon Kano and like Liu Kang, but also like a little of the Vampirus Melina, I think it is. So like just something like that. Nothing too crazy, nothing too weird, nothing we've not ever really seen before. Just a couple of different things mashed up. That week would maybe be a little bit more challenging. But then again, guys, this is for advanced, skilled pay to win, pay to play players. Why are we giving pay to play players a game mode? Because they really have helped this game sustain its longevity. Without people paying for this game, then this game still wouldn't really be around. But anyway, even if you don't pay for this game, you can still be skilled. Watch a Legenda's video, watch Shakro's video, watch Charlotte Monk's video, or even Necroport. Watch someone's video that's skilled and is able to show you how to maximize your talent tree, your characters, your weapons, etc. Because this isn't like, I don't want this to be a friendly game mode. I want this to be an intense game mode, but really rewarding for players who have actually put in the time. But anyway, back to week 3. For week 3, you just essentially gain team heal after your block has been broken. I feel like that would be pretty cool. Does this make this gear overpowered? I didn't really take the time to like actually sit down and be like, oh, is this gear going to be overpowered? I just got the idea. I was like, let's run with it. And then let's get on to week 4. So whenever a team debuff is applied to the user or the teammate, team shield is going to be applied for like 10 seconds. I feel like a lot of team debuffs are applied, in the crypt game mode. Really annoying to get around in the crypt because all it is a bunch of debuffs, and I just want to figure out some way to counteract that, but not like completely like bypass it. So instead of gaining invulnerability, just getting a shield, that would be something that's fun. But week 5 is actual passive. So we unlock passives for like the final, you know what I mean, piece of gear, not the final piece of gear, like the final like fusion of the gear, I guess you could say. So there wouldn't necessarily be fusions, there would just be like weak progressions, and that's how you maximize it. I think another cool idea. Hey guys, I forgot to mention the actual first passive. So the first passive would be called Scramble, and this would when the active user tags in, he would disable the opponent's passive and their power meter on tag in for 10 seconds. So essentially, you're gonna disable their passive and apply cripple for 10 seconds. Nothing too crazy, but at the same time, maybe a little redundant. But you get the concept. To do something extremely crazy on a passive for the 5th week would be cool. But yeah, back to the video. I feel like we'd have more players doing the Gauntlet than the Combat Pass. But anyway, let's actually talk about the Gauntlet itself. Hopefully the reward system made sense. If not, like I said, you'll find me somewhere in the Discord. I have a ton of videos I have to make today, so just bear with me. The actual game mode called Gauntlet has rules to it, right? So right now, there's no way to implement the rules, but I'm actually doing Gauntlet myself, as you can see with Cassie Cage. I think one of the best gold cards in the game. Diamond cards, not all that, but for the Gauntlet, you know, of course there's going to be rules that are going to challenge you to evolve your gameplay in this game. Also, to unlock your own gear is pretty badass, excuse my language. But so you shouldn't really complain about having to actually grind and do like challenging stuff. But again, sorry, let's get into the Gauntlet itself. So the Gauntlet, your characters have to be either 3 of the same characters, or you have to create the strongest team you possibly can. And why I say the strongest team you possibly can is because when you go up in faction wars, you need to be fighting the strongest team, right? The strongest team possible. And just, it'll make sense in a second. So in the Gauntlet, the objective is to win 50 battles in a row without losing a single character. Yeah, the objective is to win 50 battles in a row without losing a single character. And this is how you complete the challenge for that week. And while doing so, like I said, use 3 of the same characters. So like I'm doing, using 3 of the same Cassie Cages, you can do 3 of the same Liu Kangs, or just whoever is the strongest team that you have. 1 Fusion X card is mandatory. You know, I want to be able to give you a try, but at the same time make it challenging for, you know, someone who maybe doesn't have a lot of Fusion X characters. Doesn't need to be an easy game mode, but it needs to be there for players who have been here for a long time. Another thing about this game mode that's going to be more challenging is you cannot use any max epic gear at all. You can't use any max epic gear. There may be even a threshold for the amount of fusions that you have on your epic. Then again, this is just like the first idea, but that is to, you know, minimize just players just absolutely crushing the whole thing. Like, it needs to be challenging. Maybe even a point system, like you can't go over like 100 points. You see how that one says 113, the other one said 102? Something like that would be cool. Also, you can only use 2 pieces of gear that are maxed on each card. So essentially you can only use 6 pieces of max gear, but again, you can't use any epic gear. So rare gears, uncommon gears are essentially how you're going to be doing this, and pretty much you have to use uncommon gear. Another challenging thing for this game mode that I think is going to make this really fun is when you go to your talent tree, you can only use one talent as far as like attack, defense, or support. You can either max out defense or max out support or max out attack, but you can't use all three of them. I feel like that's going to make this really challenging. Another handicap for this is you can't use Bone Shield or Revenant. So you're probably not going to be able to use a lot of defense. I think support or attack is going to be the best to use in this game mode, but if someone can figure out something without Bone Shield and Revenant, that's going to be pretty good as well. And I'm not done making this challenging. So if one character dies in battle, you got to reset everything. You have to start back at battle 0 and climb back up to battle 50, or you can choose the survivor mode option. No, let's just have it to where if your character dies, then it's just dead for the foreseeable run. You still have to get the 50 battles in a row, but after you lose a character, I think survivor mode should kick in. So now that you only have 2 characters, the health that they lose in battle has to carry on to battle 50 or the end of the Gauntlet game mode. But those are just some simple ideas that I came up with. I went into like detail a little bit on some of them, but as you can see, I'm doing this with Cassie Cage. I don't know if this should be a character week based challenge where you have to use a certain character, but at the same time, it should just be a survivor type game mode, but without survivor. So in here you can like kind of switch up your gear. In survivor mode, regular survivor mode, you can't. And like I want to have challenging battles, so I might even just sacrifice one of my players just so I can have like the survivor mode go up to like 50, because now it only goes to 12 or something like that, 12 or 15. And I don't think it's enough battles. I mean, they're definitely challenging, but there's no real reward at it. There's no real reward for them after the end of Faction Wars. I mean, you're pretty much begging for a sellback or begging not to get a sellback. But last but not least, the most rewarding thing for this game mode, I think, would be to have Gauntlet type characters that are only exclusive in the Gauntlet game mode. So to have like a Gauntlet type of Liu Kang, a Gauntlet Cassie, Gauntlet Scorpion. I feel like that would be really cool to unlock as well as the gear. But we were talking on the podcast about how to modernize this game, and I think this would be a really fun way to modernize this game. Something no one could have ever actually implemented by themselves, because like the problem that I'm having is who the heck is going to design these card arts? Because that is one thing about Mkmobile that is really good. Whoever designs the card arts, man, they have always knocked that out the park, like 10 out of 10. I don't think I've ever seen like any bad tower card art. So that would be the only problem that we have. But you know, the idea is to get this to run in the Mkmobile community, just to have players saying, I'm doing the Gauntlet with this character or with these characters, just having like our own like energy in the community, like within ourselves, our own synergy, our own energy, to like where we can just share ideas, you know, do like each other's like game modes. There's like a lot of players with like creative minds out here. I wish they were kind of like, wish they were like kind of showcased or like shared with the rest of the community. This needs to be fixed, by the way. This is insane. I had to make sure I was still recording because it didn't make sense. I was like, what? But yeah, data connection required issues is going crazy in Mkmobile. Hopefully we don't see that in any of the Gauntlet game mode. But like I was saying, there's a lot of players with like creative minds in here that like they play this game to challenge themselves in their own way. And I feel like I want to add on with like different players who have been doing like challenging stuff to make this game interesting for themselves. And then like maybe we can like link up with a couple of people who have influence, share this idea with them, and just, you know, keep the ball rolling in a good direction. Yeah, but I think we hit on everything as far as like the first blueprint of the Gauntlet game mode. So to recap, every week in the Gauntlet, you need to win 50 battles. Winning those 50 battles unlocks a new ability for your weapon card or your equipment card, I should say. Um, After the fourth week, you get the passive ability, and the rules are the rules. You know what I mean? You need to have one, no max gear. You need to have either three of the same character or maximize your multiplier in quick faction wars, and pretty much just not die. And if you die, gauntlet rules apply. I don't know, not gauntlet rules, survivor rules apply. But for right now, we can't like really um, have no real way of implementing that. So just right now is like I said, we're just gonna be playing for like prestige, community prestige. But we asked everyone to be honest right now. But I feel like down the line, this can be picked up by the actual game if they're not gonna just kill the game off. I feel like Gauntlet would be a dope game mode. But you guys let me know what you think in the comments. If you like this video, comment, subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Cheers.